So the content for the next 4 days, a little bit weird because we are making some boozy themed soaps that don't actually contain any alcohol. And before I tell you, why we're making them and why they don't contain booze, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and we are making weird soapy things today. Today is day 203, and we are making a butterscotch bourbon soap. And I know, that sounds like there should be bourbon in it, and there maybe should be. But here's the thing, we've been making a lot of booze soaps, like the Taylor Swift stuff, and then the Rat Pack line. We've been doing a lot of booze soaps lately, and I thought I would mix it up a little bit for people who don't use soaps with alcohol in them, really. And that's probably, well, I don't know. I mean, do you care either way whether there's alcohol in your soap or not? It's not, whatever. Anyway, so these do not have alcohol in them, and they're still super awesome. The reason that I wanted to make these 4 soaps is because I've been wanting to put something like this in my line for literally years. Because of an old claymation Christmas special that I watched when I was a kid, and then it became sort of a thing that we would do every year as part of our Christmas tradition, something that we would watch. And I love that claymation Christmas thing so much, and they're talking about, like, here we come a wassailing, right? And then the guy the whole time, the dinosaur is like explaining what wassail means and everything. So I wanted to make, some like boozy themed hot drink type things to sort of be reminiscent of the holiday season, and when we all get together and we drink warm drinks and we chit chat and life is great. And that's why I love the fall and winter season so very much. So that's the whole point of all of them. But yeah, we didn't put booze in them. They don't really exactly smell like booze either. They just have booze names and look like booze. So I'm going to stop talking about that and like explain it so you can see it, and then you can decide whatever. Let's go. Okay, so we have a number of kind of short videos for the next few days, which is awesome because the Taylor Swift stuff really took it out of me, guys. And so much so, actually, that we were getting behind on, filming and doing all the things. And so the boozy soaps are ones that Georgia May is making. So she got to make all of the boozy soaps 100% on her own, which is cool. Now, the oil blends for all 4 of the boozy soaps are exactly the same. So we have a coconut oil, palm oil, olive oil, shea, and castor. So basically, a big bubble blend is really what she's working with. And that's good because for the most part, she's not looking at any complex designs with these, because they are we're going to be releasing 4 soaps that have like a boozy theme, right? Like the hot drinks that you drink in the fall time. And so this is the Butterscotch Bourbon. Now, it's not actually made with alcohol. We've done a lot of alcohol soaps in the past, few weeks, really, with the T-Swizzle stuff as well as the Rat Pack stuff and all that jazz. And so there are a lot of boozy soaps in the line. And so I wanted the boozy theme, but not necessarily the alcohol involved in the process. So that's what we're doing. And also, I like to be confusing. So, when you see a soap that's like Butterscotch Bourbon, you're going to assume that it's made out of bourbon, and then you turn it over and it's like, oh, there's no booze. Nope, there's no booze. There's not. But it's modeled after Butterscotch Bourbon. And really the scent notes, I would say it's about 20% of the bourbon scent blend that we made for the Frank Sinatra bars. yes. And then the rest is just this delightful butterscotch. So it's like so sweet and delicious, like butterscotch candy. It's good enough to eat. I love this one so much. And with all of these, again, we're really focusing on simplicity with this design. And the reason for that is, well, every season, especially in the fall and winter, but I try to do this for every season just in general, we tend to have like an entire set of over-the-top bars, right? Just crazy designs and very bright and beautiful and whatever, but then also a set of more muted and, you know, simplistic bars to really speak to everybody's tastes, really. I personally prefer the more simple designs. I like the look of them, and as far as, you know, selling and everything goes, actually they tend to sell a lot better than the super over-the-top ones, unless you are theming one to specifically be super over-the-top, right? Like the Sanderson sisters is an example of that. Those are awesome, and, you know, they sold out immediately, and so I'm trying to make more just in case somebody wants to give them as Christmas gifts, but they are an actual theme, and so people will, you know, that makes sense. But if it's just, I have found that if it's just crazy, like, oh, hey, unicorns and glitter and glitz and glam and all the stuff, they don't sell nearly as well as the ones that are just, you know, more simple in nature. And that's cool. So we like to give everyone a sort of, you know, option. Now with these though, this is sort of a merge between fall and winter. So this is, with this line, we will be carrying it through the holidays, because I mean, I guess technically speaking, we have all of the soaps for the fall line, right? We have our pumpkin, obviously, and then we had the 3 Sanderson sister bars, and then we had all of the wood grain, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some other ones that were specifically fall themed, but you know, whatever. So this is actually a cross to be more of a fall winter type thing, because the hot drinks that you get to drink during the cold season, that's my favorite time of the year, is fall and winter, just specifically because of that, because you get to drink these cool, I mean, not just specifically, that's weird. I swear with all of this, I end up, you know, following up on Drunk History with talking about how much I only love fall and winter only because of alcohol. I'm super not a lush, you guys. Like, that's that's not the thing. Although, you know, COVID. So Mr. Soap and Clay showed me the funniest meme a few months ago. It said something to the effect of, the new generation will be the first generation to have been educated at home by day drinkers. And I just laughed, because there are so many days where it's like 10 a.m. and it's been crazy, and I'm like, yeah, I could go for some wine right now. But yeah, no, that's not the only reason I love fall and winter. I love fall and winter for all kinds of reasons, but also you get hot drinks, and some of those hot drinks have alcohol in them, like a butterscotch bourbon, I guess. Yeah. So let's go pour this, and I'm going to stop talking like I'm an alcoholic. And on to the pour, and as I said, this is a very simple design, so we're just making it kind of look like, you know, butterscotch bourbon, and got the beautiful butterscotch candies going on there, which will be delightful and top the whole thing, and it's going to be pretty. Now, if you guys hear like snarfling throughout this video, I mean, it's just one of my videos, so you're going to hear something. It's going to be my phone, or it's going to be the kids, or it's going to be the birds, or it's going to be the dog. But we got a new puppy, and she is currently snarfling at my feet right now while destroying a cardboard box, because that's her favorite chew toy on the planet. She's much like a regular child. Like, you give them real toys and, oh, look at this interaction, and your brain's going to develop and all the things, and they just want the packaging. That's all they want. And so yeah, that's the thing with puppies as well. You get them the little toys, and they play with it for a minute, and then they go, hey, what's this box? And I let them do the thing, because at least it's not my shoes. So yeah, if you hear any of that, that's what's happening. And yeah, the use of the big bubble blend for this is actually a really good idea, because you are going with, you know, a very simple pour. So essentially the majority of the bar is this, and then we're going to do some piped soap rather for the top, and then stick the little butterscotch candies inside of them. And that's, you know, perfectly beautiful and lovely and awesome. And so you want this to firm up as quickly as possible. And so using a big bubble blend, which, you know, mine usually have a lot of solid oils, is going to be the best move for this type of pour. And so that's awesome that we're using it for all of the boozy bars for the fall/winter line. And we are immediately onto the cut. Georgia May's camera actually cut out. It was out of room as she was piping the tops, and so we didn't get to see that. But you know, there's a video right there. Go look at how piped tops are done. That little bit of extra white that she held off in the Pyrex, it was sitting throughout the entire pour, and so that's, you know, the best way you can do a piped soap. Really, you just take your batch to trace and set it aside for like 10 minutes, and by the time you get to it, it is the perfect consistency for a beautiful piping experience. And you know, those are beautiful looking bars. So far, so good. She always does this. Where do I pick? Which one do I pick? Which I think is funny because it's like there's nothing inside. You know? But I love that she always picks from the middle. Me, I'm like, oh, left to right. It's like reading a book. Let's do the thing. And she wants to pull from the very middle of the bar, which I love. Now, with this, there's a little bit of seepage going on. That's from the scent blend. I experienced that with the bourbon soaps, with the Chairman, with the Frank Sinatra bar as well. And it reabsorbs. It's all good, so no issues with that. But the little butterscotch discs that she made, they're so beautiful and bright and perfect. And her piping is awesome. And I love how she just kept the piping to one side. High soaps are not, like high top soaps are not super my thing. I'm not super into it. And so yeah, so you can see the sort of seeping that's going on there. Now you can do that and you can wipe them off, or you can just set them aside and they will reabsorb. Usually I have had, I don't know, just a few batches wherein they don't reabsorb, and then that kind of suggests there's something else going on, really. Usually too much fragrance oil or maybe too much castor, but this is a well-balanced batch. So I'm not worried about either one of those, and I had already worked with the bourbon, so I knew that that's what she was going to be expecting within some of it too. So either way, you can leave it, you can rub it up, whatever you want to do. It's all your thing. But the brownness of this is just so beautiful. It's such a gorgeous caramel color, and it's kind of perfect. It's the perfect color for butterscotch plus bourbon, right? You take the yellowy gold from a butterscotch and the goldy brown from bourbon, and look at that. That's the color that you get. Georgia May is good with the colors. She's a winner all around. And these bars, super potent. Again, they smell like a butterscotch candy, and it's, you know, delightful. But it looks like a butterscotch bourbon, which is also delightful. And that is one of 4 boozy themed soaps that we have for the fall/winter line, which are, you know, fun and, you know, again, more simplistic in their design, which again I tend to really dig. So that is day 203, the butterscotch bourbon soaps, and they're awesome. And that is the butterscotch bourbon soap, and it is delightful. It smells like a butterscotch candy. No, it does not smell like bourbon very much. Like just a hint, little teeny tiny hint, but it's mostly butterscotch, and I am here for that. The cute little butterscotch discs that the Soapprentice put on the soaps, adorable, and I love the simplistic design. We've done some pretty big soaps lately, and I like to have the simplistic soaps in the line as much as possible, if not more so than any of the big ones that we do, because those are the things that ultimately I'm drawn to, and so they make me the happiest, unless we're doing super campy themed things like Sanderson Sisters, T-Swizzle, any of the Disney princess and villain stuff. Like, those are fun,
but these are the ones that I use like on the regular. And so if you are interested in the Butterscotch Bourbon soap, you can totally find it on the website at soapandplay.com. If you are interested in following me on social media, I'm there, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you are interested in more soapy antics and coming back to see what other boozy themed, non-boozy soaps I'm making in the next 3 days, and by I mean the Soap Apprentice, she made them all, you should subscribe. Just click the button and it would make me super happy, and that would be great. For those of you who have clicked that button, you have made me super happy. Thank you so much for joining me for another round of 365 days of soap. I appreciate you a lot, and I say that a lot, so maybe I should stop, but I'll stop when it stops being true. And today it's still true. So again, thank you for joining me for another round. I am out of here for today, and I will see you guys all again tomorrow. Bye.